It's like being with a guy that is your dad, old enough to be dad. There it goes. And as you can see, that's the diamond right there. My phone focuses better when zoomed in. Oh,
I made the tie-dyes. I make the tie-dyes. The pants came from a vendor.
You may not know I am a recovering addict. I had serious addiction issues.
Well, I met him when I was 18, but we had no interest in dating each other.
I did date Paige first.
All right, so you find out Nate and Paige are dating.
But they escaped. Sorry.
What age is Paige at that point?
Yeah, that's when I found out. 14.
But how 14? Okay.
Nate Poulin and Paige didn't step onto TikTok looking like villains. They built themselves up as a couple running a jewelry business with a personal touch. But as their name spread, so did the criticism. Customers claimed they were overcharging, selling mass-produced jewelry as handmade, and in some cases, not shipping items at all. Add in accusations of fraud, drug use, and a relationship history that shocked even their own audience, and suddenly their story became less about building a business and more about surviving the backlash. How did a simple jewelry hustle spiral into one of the most talked about internet scandals? And what really happened behind the scenes? Today, we're going to discuss just that.
It's this bone broth, and it's got bone broth, cinnamon, carrots, rice, turkey, rice starch, and thyme. I'm sad, which is really good. Is it good, boobs? Is it good?
However, before controversy ever touched them, Nate and Paige were building something that seemed straightforward, a jewelry business. Nate David Poulin began his career in 2000, working in a small jewelry repair shop in Carterville, Illinois. Over more than a decade, he trained in repair, design, and diamond grading, completing the Gemological Institute of America's Diamond Course, a credential few jewelers achieve.
So here we are, finishing up the pendant.
We can't really see much of it. It's got
Anyways,
stuff all over it.
the red ruby under his thumb, and then there's multiple stones
Yeah,
around
there's
it.
little rubies and diamonds all around
So
the
this
outside.
process you're doing is what?
Right now I'm polishing it, is what I'm doing. It's 3 different sets of polish. You start with the highest grit, and then you work your way down. Well, you start with the lowest grit, actually, and work your way up. But
So he's on the second one right now. Then
alright, guys.
there she is.
There it is.
I'll get you a better video in a few here. We're gonna throw it in the
What are we throwing it into?
shiny.
Oh. Is it gonna be
This is a large ruby with small rubies and 3 diamonds.
Yeah.
Pendant,
Got some small
sterling
rubies
silver.
in it. It's got a few diamonds in it. Show it down here.
Very beautiful piece that Nate just finished.
His reputation was rooted in craftsmanship, attention to detail, and decades of experience. Paige Seeger entered his story later, and together they launched NP Creations, a brand that quickly gained traction on TikTok.
What's up, guys? We are an age gap couple. We are hippies and we travel the country.
Paige.
Yeah, this is Paige. I'm Nate. I'm gonna show you guys some of the cool stuff that I made this week. So this is a bracelet that I made. It's an opal bracelet. This is all stuff that I make that we have listed on the website, linked in the bio. So this is another one that I made. I absolutely love this one. The oranges and stuff in it are really, really beautiful. This is a necklace that I made. It's my first time making this design, so this one is really cool and is also on the website. This is another pendant I made this week. It's got the little opal beads, and then it's got a window amethyst inside of an amethyst. It's very cool. Very, very cool stones.
Instead of relying on traditional marketing, they built their business around live selling, short, energetic broadcasts where they presented jewelry as if it carried a story only they could tell. It worked.
And the real Gollum.
He's my precious.
In his natural habitat.
This is my ring. My precious little ring. Nobody can have you. It's my ring. It's my ring. Not yours. It's my precious.
What do you have, Gollum?
My ring.
Can we see the ring?
This is my precious. It's my precious. You not have my ring.
Okay, quick photo.
Within months, their follower count climbed into the tens of thousands. Their audience wasn't just buying jewelry, they were buying a connection, a sense of involvement. The pieces were presented not just as accessories, but as crafted expressions of individuality, each one handmade with care, they claimed. Their TikTok presence became the core of their strategy. Videos of them showing rings, necklaces, and bracelets were framed like performances. They offered behind-the-scenes looks, casual banter, and live reactions that created intimacy with their audience. For many, NP Creations wasn't just a jewelry store, it was a personality-driven experience. That personal connection was powerful, but it also meant their brand was vulnerable. Every claim, every product, every promise could be examined in light of their public persona, and that scrutiny came sooner than they expected. The first major crack appeared quietly but quickly grew louder. The allegation was simple but damaging. That much of NP Creations' jewelry was not handmade at all, but mass-produced products purchased from cheap manufacturing platforms such as Temu and Kala, then resold at inflated prices. Customers began noticing similarities between NP Creations' pieces and designs sold elsewhere online. Side-by-side comparisons began appearing on Reddit, TikTok, and review forums. Viewers noted that many of the designs they had been told were unique handcrafted creations matched by wholesale pieces available for a fraction of the cost. This wasn't just a question of price, it cut to the core of what NP Creations was selling, especially as fake stones allegations also arose. Their brand was built on trust. Nate and Paige often described their products as having been crafted with care, offering buyers a personal, artisanal experience. If those claims weren't true, it was a breach of trust. Complaints began to mount.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
Happy Monday.
it's Monday.
What are you up to today?
Well, we shipped this morning.
You shipped some
So
packages.
usually, as you guys know, after I ship stuff, I take the rest of the day off. And I do stuff that I like to do, like that's the dance.
He's doing that one up there. That red one with the peace animal. We'll give it a zoom in. Oh, she really zoomed in. My gracious phone. There it is. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah. Hey. So, what are we doing?
Day.
Package day. We're shipping packages. So the haters have been going really hard trying to stop us from. Yeah, they've been trying to stop us from getting sales, huh? big time, like a lot, right?
Yeah, but here we are blessed.
Let's see. We have an amazing family and amazing friends here on TikTok. So let's take a look and see how many orders we got going out this
So
shipment.
I got to package these at the place, but I have 2 here. So this is one customer, and then this is another customer.
Yeah.
14, 15.
So we got 15 items going out this week.
Jewelry, clothing, and tie-dyes.
That's awesome. So we just want to say thank you to the haters for getting everyone to our page so that they can check out our website and stuff. We appreciate you so much.
Customers said they had spent hundreds of dollars under the impression they were purchasing custom or handmade pieces, only to find identical items online. Discussions in online communities weren't polite disagreements, they were exposés, with multiple users posting detailed comparisons, tracing designs back to wholesale catalogs. Nate and Paige addressed these concerns intermittently, often through TikTok videos, denying intentional deception. Yet, for many critics, the damage was done. This was not a minor complaint, it was a fundamental challenge to the authenticity of NP creations.
Had asked a question. They asked if it was gold or gold coated. So
He's putting his safety glasses on. Eye protection. Some gloves. Because he learned that lesson.
maybe some people don't know how metal works, but they asked, it was on the video of me soldering and making a gold item. So maybe the person just doesn't know how gold is made or how it is mixed. Things like that. So I'm going to show you.
So we're going to go in the drawer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one's the 1 gram. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So this is what he gets.
We're going to put that. I got some scrap gold here somewhere. I want to put in there. This is what I've been using right here, which is a gold coin. It's a Canadian gold coin, which is 999.9.
Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the back here, you see the font. The top one is 1 gram. It's really hard to see.
If you zoom in, you should be able to zoom right into it and see it.
See, it says gold there. Yeah, and then 1 gram at the top. We can always put a photo for you guys at the end too.
Alright.
I didn't know what a gold gram bar looked like. Is this his scale to weigh it?
Gonna need the scale for this one. I don't know.
I don't think you lost anything.
Something fell. I don't know what it was, but
This just hit.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry guys. Alright, so now he's gonna weigh it. And then this here is the alloy, correct?
Yeah, that's the 14 karat gold alloy. Can you pause that and grab me a pair of scissors?
Alright, you guys. We're getting the bar packaging open.
Yeah, you can't show that on here because...
But yeah, anyways, this is the alloy, which he mixes some of this with what he needs for a ring or a pendant or whatever he's making.
So, this is a 1 gram certified bar.
If you flip it over, and then it gives you all the instructions. I'll get you guys a better video picture of it.
So,
going to weigh it. So it says 1.2.
So then you use 0.72. Use 0.72 of the 14 karat gold alloy. So,
and it all depends on what carat you're trying to make, correct?
it does, yeah.
But we are doing 14K rings, pendants.
Alright. So, I'm gonna that into the crucible.
That's what that's called.
Yeah, and I had a little piece of 14 karat gold left over from the last time I did it. So I am gonna use that because I need a bigger piece for the ring that I'm gonna be making. I'm doing a wider band on this next ring because I'm gonna do the center stone, and then I'm gonna do 3 small stones down the side of the band. Yes.
Which is what his big press.
So what I'll do, is I have a press that I will start putting this through and making it into what I need it to be. Nice. So hopefully that answers that question for you, whether it is real gold or plated gold, yeah. So it is 14 karat gold that I make my items with.
It became a defining moment in how people would view the couple's brand. The question wasn't only whether the jewelry was handmade, but whether the business model relied on misleading its audience. The allegations stuck, and this controversy became a foundation for the scrutiny that would follow.
Ryan, I think that's mountain jade, not moldavite.
I believe you're correct. After a lot of research and stuff like that, I believe that is exactly what it is. I appreciate everybody giving their input on what they thought it was. I got this answer right here the most, and so I did a lot of research on it and really checked it out, and what we found out was that is what it is, and it's actually even found in the area that we found it. Moldavite has not been found from what I can read. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's only been found in one area. So I don't think it's that just because of that. I mean, you don't know, because somebody could find something different in a different area. It really just depends on what has hit the earth to cause it. And maybe that small little lake right there was created by a meteor impact. I don't know. But I think that it's probably more likely that it would be jade.
He sat down and did some extensive research instead of just popping up on the first answer. So all your guys' comments, I mean, there was hundreds and thousands of you that commented on that video. So it was kind of neat to see, but like this was the most common one there.
Yeah, we got this one the most.
If we did like a poll, say...
It was kind of neat. Well, the analytics tell you what words are used the most in the comments, and it was the most used word in the comments. So
it does got that kind of green, so.
Yeah, one of them, which, I mean, they had one other one that was above it, but it wasn't really legitimate.
And if this was the first crack in their public image, it would not be the last. But that question of authenticity, trust, and the line between marketing and misrepresentation would linger far longer than most expected. It was the first controversy, but it set the stage for everything that came next.
All right, let's take a look. Can we get, Oh, that is cute.
Now, I don't have a bathing suit on. Now, if you get a bathing suit, you would have it here, and it goes up here. Your bathing suit bottoms could match this.
Yeah.
It drawstrings here.
Yeah, she can do any color, any size.
Here. You can tie it.
Yeah. Yep.
She can make this come down more, the shorts can be longer. You don't have to have the ruffle if you don't like it.
So.
She crocheted it up here, so this is a nice thick band.
Do your orders in where you can, guys.
Summertime's coming.
Summertime is coming.
If the doubts about whether their jewelry was really handmade rattled the brand's image, the next wave of criticism hit even harder: the prices. Because once customers began digging into where the prices came from, it didn't take long for them to compare how much NP Creations was charging versus how much the same designs cost elsewhere. and the gap was staggering. Viewers who once tuned into TikTok Live's Ready to Buy began posting screenshots. A ring that Nate and Paige had sold during a live stream for over $300, presented as a unique design, was found online for less than $30. Bracelets and necklaces priced at $150 to $200 were traced back to sites like Temu and AliExpress, where bulk orders brought the cost down to under $10 a piece. For critics, this wasn't just normal retail markup, it looked like blatant exploitation, with similar cases rising higher every day. The backlash snowballed. Customers who had proudly shown off their purchases suddenly felt scammed, posting side-by-side comparisons across Reddit and TikTok. Some called NP Creations nothing more than a drop-shipping scheme in disguise, accusing Nate and Paige of hiding behind the image of being artisans while really just flipping mass-produced products. For those who had paid premium prices, the realization stung. They hadn't just lost money, they felt tricked. The accusations of overpricing became inseparable from the couple's brand. Every live sale, every product showcase was scrutinized with suspicion. Were the stories Nate told about each price real, or just part of the act to inflate value?
Swirl.
It's a swirl.
It's a hoodie. It's a size medium.
Go to the side.
Size medium.
Nope, wrong side.
And it's available for a deal of $75, normally $80. So he normally does it for $80, and he's doing a sale today only for $75. You give people a minute to see if they want to purchase it. I know, it's just so terrible.
I made the tie-dyes. I make the tie-dyes. The pants came from a vendor.
Was Paige's enthusiastic presentation genuine, or was it theater designed to justify charging hundreds for something worth a fraction? The controversy raised a deeper question. How much of NP Creations was business, and how much was performance? And here's the cliffhanger. Once trust is broken over price, every other claim comes under fire. If the jewelry wasn't handmade, and if the pricing was inflated beyond reason, what did that say about the rest of their operation? The answer would come quickly, and it wouldn't make things easier for Nate and Paige. If pricing complaints raised suspicion, the backlash escalated when customers began pointing out the actual quality of NP Creations products. Reports surfaced of jewelry tarnished within days, stones falling out, and pieces that looked different from what was advertised online. Buyers didn't describe their orders as unique or handmade. They called them cheap and even gross. The disappointment was consistent. Customers felt they were paying premium prices for items that could be mistaken for low-cost imports. On Reddit, threads compared NP Creations listings to wholesale platforms where near-identical products were sold for a fraction of the cost. Screenshots circulated showing jewelry priced under $5 elsewhere being resold for $50 or more through Nate and Paige's brand. These comparisons spread quickly, reinforcing the belief that the couple wasn't offering authentic craftsmanship, but reselling generic stock under a markup. Multiple complaints pointed out that colors were faded straight out of the package, with garments looking worn or washed out before ever being worn. For buyers expecting fresh, quality merchandise, the reality only deepened frustration. Combined with the jewelry complaints, this painted a broader picture of a brand pushing low-grade goods under the guise of exclusivity. Adding to the anger were the couple's sales tactics. NP Creations frequently promoted raffles where inexpensive items were advertised as rare or exclusive. To enter, fans often had to pay, essentially turning low-value trinkets into profitable draws. Many saw this as exploiting their fan base rather than rewarding it, and it quickly became a recurring point of criticism in online discussions. For once loyal supporters, these patterns, overpriced goods, poor quality material, and even faded clothing weren't just disappointing. They felt like deliberate misrepresentation. Buyers expected to support a small, authentic brand, but instead found themselves questioning whether they were being taken advantage of simply because of Nate and Paige's popularity. Each new complaint, photo, and comparison added fuel, building the impression of a company more focused on cashing in than delivering value. And the backlash didn't slow. What began as isolated complaints soon became a steady stream of negative reviews, screenshots, and viral posts, forcing NP Creations' credibility into question. With more customers speaking out, the controversy wasn't just about bad products anymore, but trust, and whether Nate and Paige had already broken it beyond repair. If people were already questioning the prices and quality of the jewelry, things really started to heat up when customers talked about how Nate and Paige handled complaints. For many buyers, the problem wasn't just the products, it was the way they were treated afterward or even during live streams.
So, your ring is pretty much finished. It was an absolute pain.
One story that spread fast came from a customer who asked for a refund. Instead of a simple email or message, Josh, Nate's son, actually called them directly. He did send the money back, but not without a twist. According to the customer, Josh blocked them right after. That left the buyer feeling dismissed, and it set the tone for how others would describe their experiences.
And my dad needs to do this on track or something. I just blocked her after I sent her item, told her it was gonna arrive. And when it arrived, I told her, then blocked her.
Things only got stranger when Paige began telling customers to get insurance for their jewelry purchases. For many, this was a red flag. After all, if the business itself stood by its products and shipping, why would buyers need to take out insurance just to feel safe? The suggestion made it sound like Nate and Paige didn't trust their own system, and if they didn't, why should anyone else?
What do you mean, get insurance on your rings?
Oh yeah, you should get insurance on your rings. Damn right you should.
Go for it.
I highly recommend it. You know, that way if something happens to it, you're insured and covered. Highly recommend it.
When we get a shop, guys, you gotta keep in mind right now we're just doing our shop out of our... Hold on. We're just doing it out of the RV right now, so we're doing the best we can when it comes to stuff like that. But when people want to get their stuff appraised, I mean, that's something that costs a lot and it's a whole bunch of extra.
Can I take the phone?
You go to a jeweler and you get insurance on your ring. That's how. What?
Can I take the phone, please?
Here.
You just,
As more people caught on, the same story kept repeating. Customers who asked questions didn't get clarity, they got silence. Emails went unanswered, shipping updates never came. And when frustrated buyers took their concerns directly to Paige on TikTok, they weren't met with solutions. Instead, they were met with a block button.
So I just had a little interesting run-in with these two. Here I am, minding my own business and scrolling my FYP when I come across this page on my regular page, and I see that we're busy hosing down tie-dyes. So I hear them say that they're $65, and I'm like, the $65 for a hosed down trailer park? Oh my god. LOL. So I asked questions, and as you can see, they didn't like my questions, so they blocked me. And all I was really saying is like $65 for a shirt that gets hosed down in a trailer park versus $10 for a shirt at Walmart.
Don't last more than
6
months.
I don't know. No comparison. But Nate did tell me, don't you dare wear that Walmart shirt to a festival or they'll know. Aren't hippies supposed to be like a peaceful type people? I don't know. But they did get very mad at me for asking these questions, and then they blocked me. So I feel like that says just about everything about their character right there. People in the chat did think I was pretty funny though, so there's that. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy your hose down session, Josh and Nate. Looks like some real serious father-son bonding. That probably should have happened when Josh was younger, so you didn't f him up so bad. Anyways, have a great day.
It wasn't only paying customers either. Even moderators in online spaces, people who tried to mediate, organize information, or flag patterns of problems, said Paige blocked them for raising concerns. What should have been normal customer service complaints turned into evidence of hostility. The problem is that blocking people doesn't make the complaints go away. In fact, it made things worse. Screenshots of conversations started showing up on Reddit. Buyers who were silenced in private took their stories public, and once those stories were out there, they spread quickly. What could have been small customer service problems suddenly turned into public evidence of a bigger issue, that Nate and Paige didn't want to deal with criticism at all.
It's just too much.
The girls didn't want to mute or block because they know usually when you're on, they're not supposed to, so just let them know. They didn't want to block or mute and then upset you worse. Idiot's gone. I came in here and just blocked all of them. Well, now you guys know. Nate's working. And he's busy doing stuff. Just get rid of him.
I don't understand.
We know what... We know you guys want to come in here and see him working on the stuff and just enjoy it and not to deal with all of that. And if it affects you guys, then you need to get rid of them. Oh, I know, Nessa. You guys were trying to be respectful because you know usually Nate doesn't like you guys blocking and muting when he's on here, and I appreciate that. We both do. Somebody clearly was being stupid. So, but we love you all. Thank you for joining our live tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the process. We'll let you know how your ring comes out. I'm excited to see it polished up, Miss Marissa. You shake it off like Taylor Swift.
Paige in particular came under fire. While Nate had the defensive phone calls, Paige gained a reputation for wiping out anyone who said something negative. She wasn't just deleting comments, she was removing entire accounts from her feed. For a lot of people, that looked less like customer service and more like trying to hide the truth. And once trust is gone, it's hard to get it back. People can forgive a product that breaks or doesn't look like the photos, but being ignored, blamed, or cut off just for speaking up, that's harder to move past. Buyers started warning others before they even placed an order.
Now, to those who actually participate in here, who can tap the screen and comment, and actually, not just stare at me like a weirdo, thank you. And to those who don't, well, you'll know why you got blocked or muted. Or unfollowed.
I watch lives all the time and I don't say anything.
Tapping. We didn't even hit 10K taps until just now.
The irony is that by blocking people, Nate and Paige gave critics even more fuel. Every customer who shut down went somewhere else to tell their story, and those stories painted the same picture, a business more interested in controlling its image than helping its buyers. But if you think that's the worst they could go, you're wrong. Scam allegations are where things went from bad press to serious accusations. For Nate and Paige, complaints about customer service or overpriced jewelry were damaging enough. But when buyers began saying they were being outright scammed, paying hundreds of dollars and receiving nothing, that's when the warnings really started to spread. It often began on TikTok live streams or Reddit threads. NP Creations would showcase rings, necklaces, or even bundles of jewelry with the promise of exclusivity. Some pieces went for a couple of $dozen, but others sold for much more. Reports claim buyers spent as much as $300 to $400 on single items, lured in by claims of limited stock or one-of-a-kind designs. For viewers, it felt like a high-energy auction. People had to move fast or risk missing out, and many did move fast, eager to secure their purchase. But after the live stream ended, the problems began. Customers reported long delays, vague shipping promises, and eventually nothing. Packages never arrived. Some claimed they were reassured multiple times that their items were on their way, only for weeks to pass without results. Others say that once they pressed harder for answers, they were blocked, leaving them with no way to contact the sellers. That pattern turned what could have been chalked up to bad logistics into something much more serious. When multiple buyers across different states all told nearly identical stories, the term scam started showing up. And it didn't stay limited to Reddit or TikTok comment sections. The Better Business Bureau picked up on it too. The BBB's scam tracker began documenting reports about NP Creations, flagging the business for alleged failure to deliver products and refusal to issue refunds. What gave those reports even more weight was Nate's own background. In 2017, he was formally charged in Maine with 4 counts of theft by deception. According to court records and reports, Nate posed as a landlord, collecting money from individuals under the pretense of renting out properties that he didn't actually own or control. Victims handed over deposits, believing they had secured housing, only to discover that it was all a scam. This wasn't a misunderstanding or a business dispute, it was outright fraud, and it left families out of pocket and scrambling for shelter. For critics, this case is a key piece of the puzzle. It shows a pattern that predates TikTok and NP Creations, reinforcing the idea that Nate's issues with honesty and exploitation didn't start with jewelry sales. They've been following him for years. That connection made buyers feel that the jewelry issues weren't just bad luck, but part of a pattern. The idea that a man previously charged with fraud was now at the center of fresh scam complaints hit hard. It changed the conversation around NP Creations from bad business practices to repeat behavior. And once the BBB had flagged the reports, new buyers had one more reason to stay away. But the scam allegations didn't stop there. Beyond jewelry that never arrived, customers began calling out other questionable practices. One involved raffles hosted during TikTok Lives. For a small fee, viewers could enter for a chance to win a piece of jewelry.
You guys, thank you so much. So beautiful. I don't remember, you said something about like it was a raffle or something, or I don't remember doing that. I don't.
On paper, it sounded like a fun promotion, but complaints rolled in that winners were either never announced clearly or that the prizes never shipped. Some felt the raffles were nothing more than a way to pull in quick cash with little accountability.
Trish, this is video stuff, but we have one we just made. If anybody wants it, let me know. Or if anybody wants to waffle it, nobody really answered me. Thanks, you guys. Anybody want to get it started on waffle or want to purchase it? Yeah, let me know. We have that necklace to waffle if we want to do that too. Nobody really said anything, so. Well, tonight we have to get ready. We're not going to be in the RV. I don't think they're really realizing that.
Then there was the GoFundMe scandal. Video evidence circulated online suggesting Nate had misused money raised from supporters. The fundraiser had clearly stated a purpose, but critics claimed the funds were redirected elsewhere. To followers who had chipped in believing they were helping a good cause, it felt like betrayal. And stacked on top of the undelivered jewelry orders, it only strengthened the narrative that NP Creations couldn't be trusted with money at all. All of this was built into a picture that was hard to ignore. Buyers weren't just losing patience with slow shipping or miscommunication, they were accusing Nate and Paige of building a business model around taking money with little intention of delivering on promises. And the stories kept repeating themselves. A TikTok viewer spent $1,800 on Paige when she saw her stranded on the side of the road, but later discovered that she had been scammed. Each complaint added to the pile, and each one chipped away at whatever trust was left. The couple's responses only made things worse. Instead of publicly addressing the growing scam claims, they doubled down on blocking critics and pressing forward with new sales. This left frustrated buyers feeling like their only option was to take it public, sharing screenshots, receipts, and timelines on Reddit threads dedicated to exposing NP Creations. In one sense, the couple's attempt to silence the controversy became the very thing that fueled it. However, they also sometimes made furious reposts, or Nate would mock a hate comment with a false prayer, earning more hate comments.
Hurt and his brokenness, whatever's causing him to be hateful and negative and go around on TikTok trying to ass and bully people. I pray to you that you just reach down, Jesus, and put your arms around him and help heal his hurt and brokenness. I pray that you can help him heal. Amen.
Amen.
According to People, they both exposed themselves as fake by misusing religion and only caring about money.
That's the devil working. That's the devil working in the background right there. When you're living in the light, trying to show kindness and love online, the devil's going to send his army after you every time. You have to stay fast to your faith and your love for God. That's the internet now. I'm not going to stop shining. I'm not going to stop being a light for the people who are struggling. No matter how hard you try to upset me or bring me down or throw negative energy my way, I'm going to sit here with a smile and spread love anyway.
What's striking is that NP Creations still kept operating despite all of this. New live streams kept popping up, new sales kept rolling in, and new customers kept warning others in real time. It created a strange divide. Loyal followers who wanted to believe in Nate and Paige, and critics who felt scammed and silenced.
Alright, not that I need to show, but I have shown the receipts several times on live. Multiple times. But I am going to show you the receipts from getting the motorhome fixed. You clearly didn't see the live when I showed them to everybody. I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times, and that's okay. So I'll post the receipts. I have to blur some stuff out, obviously, because the haters will jump right on there and try to see what they can see. So I will post them right now for you.
Brother, that's my headache. Don't you worry about me. You just mind your own business. Mind your own business. 'Cause if you mind your business, then you won't be minding mine.
However, if the scam accusations weren't enough, another controversy started brewing around Paige's own financial habits. On Reddit, users pointed to a discussion where Paige herself admitted that she relied on multiple credit cards and payment methods to fund her lifestyle. To casual viewers, that might not sound unusual. Lots of people juggle credit cards. But critics took it as a red flag.
So, everything's in my name. And then when we get married, it'll be in both of our names. And it'll be ours. Everything is ours. Nate's name is mine. My name is his. Our last name is shared. That's our relationship.
We have some joint accounts, and we have, we have our own credit
Oh, sorry, I
cards.
forgot to tell you. We're going to put everything in my name, and then it's just going to all be a downfall from there. You're just using it. I forgot to tell you that.
How the hell is that using you? If I put everything in your name, I'm the one taking the risk. People are So
in general,
if everything was in your name, you could wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I'm leaving. You're shit out of luck. So I guess I don't understand how their comprehension on that works.
Do you, pretty girl? Do you?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man.
The issue wasn't just that she used different cards, but the way she described it. It came across less like careful budgeting and more like scraping together funds to cover gaps. For a couple already accused of mishandling customer money, this raised obvious questions. Were Nate and Paige really running a stable jewelry business? Or were they just cycling debt to keep things afloat? That suspicion only grew when people began comparing the lifestyle they presented online to the problems customers reported behind the scenes. On TikTok Lives, Paige showed off clothes, accessories, and trips, while buyers claimed they were still waiting on orders worth hundreds of dollars. Some critics connected the dots. If refunds weren't being sent and items weren't being shipped, was that money simply being redirected elsewhere?
What do you want to say to everybody?
Boom. New RV. She is going to be our new baby. Got the keys for all new stuff. I just can't believe that it's happening. It's still setting in that this is ours. But here she is. She's beautiful. She's wonderful.
We just wanted to really, from the bottom of our heart, say thank you to everybody who purchased the art that I make, the jewelry that I make. Everything got us to this point. To the people who really went out of their way to help us make this come true.
God bless you all.
Really means everything to us. We can't put into words
How much
how amazing it really is.
your kind heart.
Thank you guys so much, and we love you.
We love you. Outwards. This whole thing will be that way. And we'll keep it off there. Here. You can come through here. Oh, I got a speaker. And got the dinette. A beautiful dinette. This turned into a bed, so we'll need it. Got all the covered space up here. You got the kitchen.
Alright, so the slide's not out right now, but she wanted you guys to be able to see.
This will come up at some point, but this is newly put in. This is literally all...
I'll try coming in here. See if I can.
So this will push outwards, and we'll have space over that way. But that's a vanity mirror. I won't use it. You have a TV up here.
The credit card issue is also tied to broader concerns about transparency. When a business is accused of scams, every detail of how the owners spend money comes under observation. In Paige's case, admitting openly to juggling cards fed the narrative that finances were shaky at best. And with Nate's history of fraud charges already public, the optics were bad. Instead of showing a business investing back into itself, the picture that formed was one of a couple living beyond their means while customers footed the bill. It didn't help that Paige sometimes leaned into showing luxury-style purchases while also talking about financial struggles. For critics, it felt like a contradiction. How can someone claim hardship yet still flash signs of overspending? Some called it irresponsible, others called it manipulation. Either way, it added fuel to the growing distrust around NP Creations.
We have the RV going into the shop tomorrow because it's losing power, going uphill. And so the other day, I went to drive and I stepped on the gas. Doing great, nice to see you. Oh, awesome. Yeah, so went to take off and I stepped on the gas on the RV and it didn't do anything for like 10 seconds. It just sat there. And I mean, I even put it all the way to the floor and it just sat there. And so, and then finally it went and it started going. And so I don't know what's wrong with the RV, but we're bringing it in tomorrow to get it all checked out and stuff.
Another ongoing issue that has drawn heavy backlash is the couple's attitude toward gifts from followers. Viewers on TikTok have pointed out that Nate and Paige frequently complain about not receiving enough virtual gifts during their live streams. For many, this comes across less like lighthearted banter and more like guilt-tripping their audience into giving them money.
Come on Thursday and Friday. I've been saying that for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, but we got crap to pay.
Well, what's it matter? If you ain't getting nothing, you ain't getting nothing.
Point.
Let people watch Days of Our Lives during the week.
Funny.
Instead of appreciating the support they do receive, critics say they make followers feel pressured or inadequate if they're not sending frequent gifts. Some even describe it as manipulative, a way of exploiting loyal fans who simply enjoy watching their streams but don't want or can't afford to keep sending money. This has left a sour taste in the community, especially when it combined with ongoing questions about the couple's business practices. Adding to the controversy is the perception that the products themselves don't reflect the prices being charged. Paige has been shown working on clothing using what she proudly called her clearance kids sewing machine. To anyone familiar with sewing, these small, inexpensive machines are more like toys than proper tools. They're usually made with cheap plastic parts, having limited stitching ability and struggle to hold durable fabrics together. Moreover, critics pointed to a Reddit post that read, "I am absolutely mind-blown that Paige says she needs such expensive fabric to learn to sew." That comment echoed a recurring concern that Paige and Nate's claims about the cost of materials and their production process often feel exaggerated or disingenuous. If she truly needed high-end materials just to learn, why then use a clearance kids sewing machine to actually make garments, and then also have no idea what to do with this stuff? For those already concerned about overpriced jewelry and questionable customer service, this revelation only reinforces the belief that the couple is putting profits ahead of value. Customers don't feel like they're getting what they paid for, and instead see a couple more focused on squeezing money out of their audience while investing as little as possible back into their craft.
Show you guys more stones, I guess. It's alright. How about you, Tabitha? Oh, you son of a biscuit. Busy. Purple spiny. We could put these in earrings or a ring. Those would be really nice. Yeah, we got a bunch of stones. Taking 4 custom orders today, you guys. If anybody's interested in something, let me know. I'm in carts. Put that necklace. Chunky ring.
After that, more serious allegations began to surface, this time touching on Nate and Paige's personal lives in a way that went beyond poor business practices. Discussions across Reddit threads have repeatedly raised concerns about drug use, with both direct claims and subtle observations fueling the speculation. Critics argue that Nate's behavior on live streams often shows signs of consistent opioid use. Some users point to his mannerisms, speech patterns, and even the way he interacts with Paige, suggesting that they mirror characteristics often associated with someone struggling with dependency.
You may not know I am a recovering addict. I had serious addiction issues, and the item that they just said right there, that item right there is what I use for my maintenance. I find it better to be better than the alternative things that they normally give for maintenance, like, oh, I can't say them. We'll say Don't, Sub, and something else. I find those to just basically be using still. So the item that I use, right, which is right there that I pinned, you can buy it at any store throughout the country. Comes in a lot of different forms, and I use it on a daily basis for maintenance. So it works really, really good for me.
While none of these observations are proven medical diagnosis, they've been enough to spark heavy debate online about whether Nate's personal choices have bled into his business and relationships. Once, when he was discussing a dream and later woke up to constant coughing, viewers immediately linked it to drugs.
Right?
Nate woke up coughing.
I was suffocating, and the dream was so real that I woke up coughing, and I couldn't get my breath back for like 15 minutes. I just kept coughing, like I was physically being suffocated. Oh, it was crazy. Craziest dream I've ever had in my life. It was so bad, guys, to the point that when I got up, I had... Why is it doing that?
Hold on, give it a second.
The controversy doesn't stop with him. Paige's past has also been scrutinized, with multiple Redditors referencing her troubled family history. Mentions of her mother's drug use have surfaced, alongside claims that Paige herself struggled with substance issues in the past.
Anybody know that they don't need to be close? Yep, I did. So what? We're done. Like 30 years ago.
Everyone's
I'm
doing
so
stupid
old.
stuff.
I'm so old. And was that Sunny? I can't remember. Back in March.
Whether true or not, critics believe these struggles may have influenced her decision-making and the dynamics of her relationship with Nate. For many, it painted a picture of two people already carrying heavy baggage, now amplifying each other's worst impulses under the pressure of online fame.
Running everything need to stop now, and we're not going to let you do anything. At some point, people have to stand up for themselves. It's gone too far. They keep taking and taking and taking. They take our money, they tax.
The allegations also intersected with their jewelry business. During TikTok sales streams, Nate would sometimes smoke while handling or displaying products. Competing sellers quickly pointed out that smoke, whether from cigarettes, vapes, or other substances, shouldn't come into contact with jewelry, particularly gems.
These ones will probably be a little bit more than the rest of them just because they take a lot more work. Same thing goes with bracelets. So if you're interested in something, let us know. I will take your sale today. I also will take a sale if you would like to get something tie-dye, bandana-wise. Why are you recording?
It's not only unprofessional, but can also damage the clarity and long-term quality of certain stones. Nate dismissed these concerns, but other videos contradicted his claims, showing visible smoke hovering over items being showcased. For critics, this wasn't just careless, it reinforced suspicions that drugs and substance use were playing a role in how NP Creations operated day to day. Adding to the suspicion, some viewers claim Nate's mood swings on live streams are extreme, shifting from upbeat energy to visible irritability or even aggression within minutes that usually scared their dog. These abrupt changes in behavior, paired with the smoke controversies and Reddit discussions of opioid use, deepened the narrative that something more was going on behind the scenes than just bad business decisions. For customers and followers, the drug use allegations made the trust issue even worse. They no longer felt comfortable supporting Nate and Paige's ventures if their money might be fueling habits rather than building a legitimate business. It left many to wonder if substance use really was influencing Nate and Paige's actions, how much of NP Creations' dysfunction could be explained by it, and perhaps more importantly, how much worse could things get if they denied smoking yet were always surrounded by ashtrays. When questions about drug use started circulating, they quickly bled into another area of criticism: hygiene. Viewers began noticing things during live streams that they couldn't ignore. Nate's fingernails were often dirty, unkempt, and visibly stained while he handled jewelry pieces meant to sell for hundreds of dollars. For a brand built on presentation, this was a glaring red flag. Customers started asking, if the hands that touched the gems looked like that, what did it say about the care and handling of the products themselves? Paige also became a focus of these conversations. Her teeth, often visible on camera, drew sharp comments. Some speculated the appearance was linked to drug use, while others suggested a possible calcium deficiency or neglect of dental care. One even spotted a ringworm on the chest of Chloe, a coworker. Whatever the cause, critics saw it as part of a larger pattern, a business couple that didn't maintain the professional standards one would expect from people selling luxury jewelry. But the hygiene concerns didn't stop at appearances. Reports about their home environment began surfacing on Reddit threads and comment sections. People who claimed to have seen behind the curated TikTok angles described a living space of theirs and their coworkers that was dirty, cluttered, and in some cases, bug-infested. Bugs were reportedly spotted crawling near areas where products were filmed or stored, sparking disgust among customers who wondered if the jewelry they bought had been kept in the same conditions. The issue was bigger than just personal hygiene. It raised serious questions about business ethics. Jewelry is something people wear on their skin, sometimes daily. If buyers began to believe items were coming from a dirty or unsanitary environment, it wasn't just a matter of perception, it was a matter of health. The combination of dirty nails, questionable dental health, and allegations of bugs around the home created a picture that undermined whatever handmade luxury image NP Creations tried to project. And here's the kicker: once people started pointing these things out, it spread fast. Every stream, every video, every close-up was scrutinized, with screenshots and clips shared widely across forums. What might have been overlooked once became impossible to hide, and with each new observation, the couple's credibility took another hit. After the hygiene criticisms, the spotlight shifted from their business to their personal lives, and this is where things got even more complicated. The relationship between Nate and Paige has been one of the most criticized aspects of their public image, not just because of who they are now, but because of how they started. At the center of the controversy is the age gap. Nate is significantly older than Paige, and critics argue that the circumstances around how their relationship began cross uncomfortable lines. Reports and Reddit discussions suggest that Nate first started interacting with Paige on social media when she was as young as 14.
Lizzie, but you can clearly see this is her. And if you go back through some of her old photos, you can see that Nate liked them. And here's just all the proof of it. There's multiple pictures that he has liked, and it all leads back to his real Instagram. And that means that if she's 22 now...
Some accounts even claim her father discovered their connection when she was still underage, 14 in fact, sparking immediate concern about what exactly was going on between them.
Sorry, I went back in the kitchen, damn it.
All right, so you find out Nate and Paige are dating.
But they escaped, sorry.
What age is Paige at that point?
Yeah, that's when I found out. 14.
But how 14, okay. Holy...
She's 14. She was entirely too young.
When she first started dating him, it was 14?
So she would come see me at work at Walmart. All right. When she'd come see me at work at Walmart, because this is now mind you, this is when she was staying with her mother. She would come see me at work and just say hey, whatever. But Nate would be with her. And Josh is out in the car. He's on his phone doing this, that, and the other, or something, this and that. You know, so basically the wool was pulled over my eyes. I had no clue what was really going on. Apparently, Josh was never in the car, so
Whether or not the timeline is blurred, the fact that these claims exist has fueled suspicion and outrage. Like any father who loves his daughter, he first defended his daughter, saying that Nate scammed her into it, and he was the one to blame. And as the conversation continued, he never wavered from his stance. He sent his love to Paige and warned Nate never to come near him. However, according to her mom, she was 16 when she started dating him. Thus, the years differ a bit, but the fact remains the same. She was a minor. And then there's the added twist. Before becoming involved with Nate, Paige reportedly dated Nate's son. That detail alone turned their story from unconventional to explosive. To outsiders, it raised countless questions. How could Nate move from being the father of Paige's boyfriend to being her partner himself? But as Paige denied dating Josh the son, it was clear she didn't want people to discuss it.
Well, I met him when I was 18, but we had no interest in dating each other.
I did date Paige first.
So I found somebody older who had their crap together.
Love doesn't have an age. Age is made up. It was actually created by man, so.
He asked me if he could get with her when she became old enough. I said, yeah, go ahead. And it happened.
And then I met him again at 19, and that's when we started dating.
I honestly believe it's because my generation, we didn't have spoons.
So between 18 and 19, we were friends, and then we started dating when I was 19. So.
And our moms used to just throw our things of chocolate pudding out the door, so you had to learn to eat it without a spoon.
No, I don't like her no more. She's not my type. I like curvy girls. I like thicker girls.
If you can do math, today in 2023, I'm 21.
So if y'all need confirmation on something, just message me. I'll fucking tell you the correct answer.
My son's in here all the time.
But who cares? Who cares? That's how it is.
When you are living in the light of Jesus Christ, you best believe the devil's gonna send his army for you every single time. And a lot of these people don't even know they're on devil's side, but they are. That's the reality of it.
Can't do math. Let me know if you need my help.
However, people never stopped noticing these absurd connections. And according to discussions online, Nate's son eventually spoke about it, saying that he was fine with this situation if his dad was happy. But even in that statement, something crucial was left out, the part about Paige being underage when it all began.
Dating someone that young, well, if it makes him happy, I'm happy. That's all I want to see. I believe everybody deserves somebody that makes them happy, regardless of the age gap.
That omission didn't go unnoticed. For critics, it wasn't just about an age gap. It was about a relationship that blurred boundaries of family, power, and responsibility. Paige was still a teenager when she became involved with Nate, and many argue that the timing shows more of an escape than a love story. And once they went public, their interactions on live streams only fueled more concern. Viewers began noticing moments where Nate didn't treat Paige with kindness. His tone toward her was sometimes dismissive, even condescending. In one widely discussed instance, Paige appeared in a rap battle live, an unusual move that showed her stepping into a space outside of jewelry sales. Nate's reaction, however, wasn't supportive. Instead, clips show him acting irritated and cold, the kind of dynamic that suggested control more than partnership.
50 seconds, you guys. 50 seconds left.
Better hope for a snipe. Man, saying looking good for you, you know. Yeah, you gotta hand it to you.
Yep.
Maybe you win one.
What? You're gonna give me a chance to put that one in the box. Excited to get live. But this is the box I have.
Oh, this is a close one. That's corner.
That's corner. Thank you for the roses, hon. Hello.
Any gloves?
I know. Does anybody have a glove? 8 a.m. We're good. How are you, Sideway?
Oh, boy.
Go, go.
Now you have a power up.
Thank you.
Willow.
Double, double, double. Don't lose those guys. Gotta better you guys.
Use a glove, guys. Use a glove. They ran back-to-back gloves. Use a glove, guys. Oh, word. Use a glove.
The power imbalance showed itself in other ways, too. During one live stream, the topic of engagement came up. Rather than expressing excitement about the future or affection for Paige, Nate laughed. He joked that if he ever bought Paige a ring, it would cost between $5 to $10 grand to make. For some viewers, it came across as bragging about money. For others, it highlighted the way he dangled the idea of commitment as something transactional rather than emotional. Then there was the comment that many found most revealing. In another live stream, Nate bluntly stated that Paige doesn't own anything. Not the jewelry, not the business, not the assets. It was all his. Coming from a man in a relationship with someone much younger, already criticized for being controlling, this only deepened the suspicion that Paige wasn't an equal partner. She was dependent on him.
I'm confused. Isn't this her page? Actually, it's my page. We just both use it.
And yet the relationship persisted, which made the criticisms even louder. The dynamic between them, shown in countless small moments during streams, didn't look healthy to many viewers.
My man is 49 and I'm 37. Mrs. Lopez's, I think that's how I pronounce it.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, we are an age gap couple. I'm 44. She's
22, going on 23.
We travel the country full-time. Well, mostly full-time. Sometimes we stop for a short time to be able to get mail, stuff like that. Also, I make handmade jewelry, handmade gold jewelry. So if you're interested in getting something made, maybe you have something coming up and you want to get something for somebody that you care about, I make really beautiful jewelry. Yeah, so hit us up on that.
Special events, wedding bands, things of the such. Nate is always open to customizing beautiful things.
You can ask us any question you want to. We haven't done a question video in a while, and I think it's really important for us to do question videos so that people have an opportunity to get to know us better.
Nate's frequent sharpness, paired with Paige's quieter responses, painted a picture of a couple where power wasn't shared equally. Critics pointed to this as evidence that the age gap and the unconventional start of their relationship weren't just backstory. They were active problems still shaping how they treated each other today. The relationship controversy wasn't just about an age gap. It was about power, secrecy, and control. It was about a father, a son, and a girlfriend turned stepmother. It was about a man laughing at the idea of commitment while telling the world his much younger partner owns nothing. And it was about a girl who may have escaped a troubled home only to land in something just as troubling, if not worse.
Is it hard to be in a age gap?
I don't think it's hard to be in an age gap relationship other than online. Online, you have a bunch of overprivileged people who think that their opinion matters more than everybody else. In real life, when you meet people, they're just like, yeah, that's cool, awesome, it's nice to meet you, and they actually take a chance to get to know you. Online, you have all kinds of people live in their mom's basement who run around harassing people online because they have nothing better to do with their life. So yeah, I don't think it's difficult at all. I don't think it's any different than any relationship. You know, you're gonna have problems along the way, and you're gonna have people who are judgmental, but people have been fighting to love who they want to love since the beginning of time. It's not anything new.
I mean, in my opinion, people have just put age gap in almost like this little bracket. Well, there's an age difference, so now it's different from any other relationship, and neither of us look at it that way. I look at Nate as a person. I look at him as who he is, not the age that's attached to him. I don't really ever think about Nate being older than me. I think about the fact of how much I love him, and that we're two people who are best friends.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a bunch of people jump in your comments and make rude and obnoxious comments about you being in an age gap relationship, like they've lived in the Stone Age for, under a rock for the last 100 years, and have never heard of or seen an age gap relationship, when chances are their grandparents or their great-grandparents probably had an age gap. It's been around since the beginning of time, so...
There's this really great concept where people just loved who they wanted to love, and they didn't care what other people thought.
Yeah, so I would say in real life, it doesn't bother anybody. And there are tons and tons of people that follow us that we're friends with, who are in age gap relationships, who are super supportive.
and really kind to us. So
No,
yeah.
it isn't. And everyone looks at it
Yeah,
differently. But for us,
it's not hard for us. I mean, it is hard for the people living in Mom's basement who are upset with it. But other than that, we don't really notice any difference. You know, you either have stuff in common or you don't have stuff in common. We have a ton of stuff in common. So.
I particularly am not somebody to stick my nose in somebody else's relationship. So, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, it's been that way since the beginning of time. I mean, like, people have had to fight to love who they wanted to love, whether it was color-based or age-based.
Biased.
Or, you know, certain people didn't want, you know, family or, you know, people dating people from other ethnicities, and or people who wanted to love who they wanted to love because they were gay or they were attracted to the same, you know, there's just so many things and so many people who have had to fight to love who they want to love over the years for so long that we're not any different than all of them. So hopefully,
I would not say so, and I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Beyond the controversy with Paige, there's also the shadow of Nate's past, a history that involves a previous marriage and 8 children. For many critics, this is where his character becomes even harder to defend. Former acquaintances and online commenters have painted a picture of a man who wasn't just distant as a partner, but absent as a father. Reports suggest that Nate's presence didn't brighten his children's lives, it dulled them. Instead of lifting them up, he was accused of draining their energy, their confidence, and their light. And then there was Josh. Old headlines described him as a missing child, and online discussions identified him as autistic. Screenshots of a childhood photo circulated, with people noting how vulnerable he appeared even then. Some claimed they could see Nate taking advantage of that, pointing to a pattern of exploiting the most fragile situations around him. Moreover, Paige has tried to distance himself from this narrative, even going so far as to claim she doesn't know Nate's kids. But that's where the contradictions pile up. People quickly reminded her that she had once dated Nate's son, even appearing all over his Facebook years ago. Then there's the story of Josh, one of Nate's sons. When asked if he celebrated his birthday, Josh admitted that he didn't, not because he didn't want to, but because he didn't have the money. And instead of Nate stepping in as a father to do something as simple as take his son out for a meal or a celebration, he reportedly had Josh spend his birthday doing TikTok live battles. For critics, this was the clearest evidence of Nate's priorities: attention and money over family and love. For many watching, the picture was consistent. Nate wasn't just controversial as a businessman or as a partner to Paige. Long before that, he had already failed as a husband and as a father. At the end of the day, Nate and Paige haven't slowed down. The complaints, the accusations, the screenshots, and the patterns of behavior, they're all still there. Viewers continue to call for their accounts to be banned, but so far platforms have done little more than let them carry on. For critics, it feels like proof that even with mounting evidence, some creators can keep slipping through the cracks. The question is, how much longer can this last? With every block, every ignored email, and every unanswered accusation, the pressure only builds. If the past has shown us anything, it's that silence doesn't make these problems disappear, it only makes them louder. So what do you think? Should Nate and Paige finally face consequences online? Or will they continue unchecked until something bigger forces change?